So about the good things, the first thing I'd like to mention is that it is a turn-based game. So if you're into this genre, then that is what you will get. But I have to say the options and skills offered to use during the battle are a bit limited. So there's not too much to think about or contemplate. So that can either be a good thing or a bad thing, but it is a turn-based game. So if you're into that, then that's what you'll get. So that's good. And the second thing I'd like to say, it's a pretty funny story. So you're in for a laugh, that's for sure. So if you don't expect anything too serious from this game, then that's a real good fit. So if you're open for something lighthearted, then go for it, because it has really a lot of funny dialogue. So yeah, I like that. And for the third thing I'd like to say, so if you want something that is really laid back, where you don't need to think or overthink stuff and just go with the whole pirate theme in a funny way, then this is really a relaxing change of pace compared to the usually more intense hard grinding games. So you have some games where you have to overthink like 10 steps ahead, and you're constantly contemplating what if. So there's a lot of things going on, but with this game it's pretty straightforward, and it's an easy, it's all in an easy pace. So yeah, that's sometimes it can be a good thing, I feel. So yeah, so let's head on to the bad things. The first thing I'd like to mention is that it's a bit of a childish game. So it uses all the cliches of the pirate world. Basically, the only thing that's lacking is a pirate with a wooden leg and a parrot on his shoulder. But knowing this game, that will only be a matter of time before one will pop up. So it's a real roguelite game. So it has a blend of various elements, but to be honest, it only brushes the surface of all those instead of really implementing it well. So it's a very light experience in general. The second thing I didn't like is that you have in this game units with flintlocks, and they can target you from across the screen, and there is basically hardly any way to shield you from their shots. So that there are rocks and other obstacles, but they do not provide any cover. So it's a bit missed opportunity to me to not use the terrain, because that would offer another range of tactical variations on how to play the game and navigate around the map. Now it's basically just about getting as fast as possible to the enemy, ignoring any areas for cover, because there aren't really any to use. So that's a bit again, it's a bit light in that sense again. And for the third thing I'd like to say is that the sea battles, they are really a joke. So I can't take that serious at all. It basically comes down to the ship that has the most cannons and how quick you can take out their defenses. So there is a bit of contemplating to be done what to prioritize. You could shoot at the cannons, or you could aim for the crew, but there isn't really much tactical or maneuvering or anything else going on. So again, I get that sense that the game is very light in that sense. It just expects you to do stuff and you don't really have to think about it. You don't really have to think ahead about it. So yeah, that all in all, that's a bit the negative stuff for me. So just as a general conclusion, I have to say Rogue Waters, it's a nice blend of many different activities, all revolving around the pirate life theme. So yeah, if you're in that genre, that kind of setting, then that will work for you. So I have to say that none of the mechanics seem deeply developed. So yeah, it is a pleasant, a funny, and a nice experience, but it's lacking any depth, at least if you avoid being thrown in the ocean. That's the only depth you will possibly experience. So yeah, I have to say the game has a lot of elements that seem quite repetitive as well. So I have to say, on one hand, that made it a bit boring, but on the other hand, they have lots of funny dialogues throughout the story, which keep the game fresh and interesting. So it's a bit of a mixed bag for me in that sense. And there also is some character building, but it all does feel a bit bland. You're not really able to really really develop a character. There aren't that many options to do so. And the story itself, for me, it's quite linear. So there's no real sense of exploration or sailing on the seas. So it's really not that interesting in that sense. It is really a very linear story. So there's not much freedom in that way. And again, the sea battles, they don't offer any interest at all. It's more a prelude before you get to the real boots on the ground combat part. So the combat is turn-based. But yeah, to me, it did not really feel that it offered enough variety and options to make it a real challenge for me. So I would not. It doesn't even come close to games like XCOM or Phoenix Point or Gears Tactics and that sort of game. So yeah, that's basically it for my review. It's a nice game, but it's not something I would consider as a real serious game. So yeah, it really depends. If you're in the mood for something light and fun, then why not? But if you want something really to challenge yourself and to get grinded down into a game, then it's maybe not the thing you are looking for at this moment. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed my review and you found it useful. And of course, if you want to see more, please let me know in the comments, or let me know by throwing me a like, or even consider subscribing. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching and listening to me, and hope to see you next time. Have a nice day.